So we've got this Wanderlodge in. He has a leak coming in the back from the hydraulic pump. The hydraulic pump also does the power steering and the hydraulic fan that cools the radiator. If you remember that one Wanderlodge, we had it overheated because it ran out of the hydraulic fluid for that pump. So that's very important that you don't do that. So he tried to fix the leak himself at home. He was able to remove the pump, but he wasn't able to break loose any of the hydraulic lines that go to it. They take a lot of muscles, and they're huge connections, like 1 5/8 crow's foot, and it's way down in there. You don't have good leverage. So he put it back on, but he thought it was the mount for the pump, but it's not. We're going to get it in here and look at it, and then we'll take it off. But the only way to get to it is through a rear access in the back of the bedroom. And we found that it's easy to remove the alternator that's above it. It takes about a half hour to remove the alternator, and then you got a lot better access to it. So instead of fighting around that thing, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna run it and make sure we figure out exactly where it's leaking from, and if we can get. He's already ordered a rebuild kit for the pump itself, so we can just rebuild it, put new seals in it and everything. That'll probably fix the issue, but we'll see. Let's figure out exactly what's going on here. Wanderlodges definitely are beautiful on the inside. But yeah, the rear access back here, you gotta work your way around the bed. And I'll get a flashlight on. Okay. So, yeah, way down in there. You don't have a lot of room here. A skinny guy fits back here. It's probably 16 inches wide. So you don't have a lot of room, but thank goodness we removed the alternator. The pump is out right now, but that's where it's normally is down there. Look at the teeth on that thing. And even worse yet, look at the teeth in there. That's the drive gear for it. Well, the rebuild kit doesn't come with new splines and everything, so we're going to need to get a new one of these drive gears, and then he's just going to get a new pump. It'll come complete with the splines and everything, so we don't have to worry about that. But those aren't going to last very long, and if that goes out, you're screwed. I was having trouble finding the exact little coupling gear here online. I could find one from the marine industry that's very similar, same dimensions and everything, but it's just slightly different on the depth of it, but it fits in there and everything. So we're gonna be able to order that and have to modify it slightly. And there'll be this gasket here that'll go on there. So we're gonna have 2 new gaskets there. And everything in this pump looks the same to me. So we're gonna get ready to start swapping all the fittings over to where they belong. Get them at the right clock to the right positions. So we got the right pump. Now here's the gear that we got. I'll show you this is the old one, and just how the new one's just a little bit different. Well, this plug doesn't fit because this is so close to the edge right there, and it's like almost touching the teeth in there. That's where the old one, where it went, is way up in there. So we just need to do a little machining to get this to work here. We'll just remove a little of those splines on the inside there, so the depth of that'll go in there. It should work real well, not too hard. As you can see, the gear rides out way towards the tip of the shaft there. So we've got plenty of room on these splines to remove some of them on the inside, because these are a lot longer than the ones that are on the original one. So we can have them machine those off of there. Because it's only going to ride like right there. So we got plenty of room to get rid of some splines to make that deeper for that plug to go in. Yeah, so he'll remove some of those. You see how long they are there, and on the original one they're very short. And then this will be able to go in further. And then we got to widen this hole out to make it the same size as that roll pin hole. This one's a little smaller dimension. And there's plenty of room on the back side. It could stick out further, that doesn't matter. That doesn't go to anything. So we'll be able to modify it and get it to work. Adding coolant way up high when something is on the pit is way up there. I need to build like a platform or something back here so we can have access to it. So we drained all the coolant. We just keep it in a barrel like that, and then when it gets full, we take it to our local dump and they accept used coolant. So we replaced the 3 hydraulic filters. There's 3 of those that stack on top of each other that go inside of a big container. And then there's another hydraulic filter, which is in that little thing right there. Well, it's not little, it's big. We replaced that one as well. So all new hydraulic filters in there. We did the engine oil filter, transmission filter, and fuel filters as well while we're at it here. And then we're replacing the coolant. He hasn't ever had that done since he's owned the bus. And we use the Prestone Command and then distilled water. So we buy the concentrated. But yeah, new oil filter there. And then he's got a couple of fuel filters on here. One of them is a Raycor, which we haven't replaced yet. It's going to be easier for us to do the Raycor right there after we pull them off of the pit. Okay, so Jeff cut rid of some of those threads, opened it up, put it in, made it hole a little bigger, put a roll pin in it. So it's got a machine shop stuff, a lathe and a mill in his shop. So there it is. Now it'll go on the pump. Uh-oh. Looks like he's nicked up a couple of those teeth. Gonna have to clean that up. Okay, use a little file just to clean up the beginning of those little. There's the magic. Okay, well, we didn't get that back until after end of business day on Thursday, so we're going to try and get this thing done on Friday, and then he wants to use it for the Memorial Day weekend, so we're really under the gun to try and finish it tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to get it done, but we got a lot going on here. We got 2 buses that we need to get out of here for the holiday weekend, so it's just going to be a little bit crazy around here, but we should be able to get that pump back on and everything tested out. Should be good to go. This video is sponsored by Wise Survival Food. We've been stocking up on just to have extra, be more prepared for things, emergencies here, and just getting a stockpile of food and stuff like that. And Wise is a great option for that. I'm gonna put a link in the description of this. It's an affiliate link, but thanks to them for sponsoring this video. The food tastes really good, and it is storable for up to 25 years. So you can just buy this a couple of times, get them put away, and then you're prepared for when something happens.
Up his tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long hard ride in on Lenny the Silver Sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down and that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. See that 4104 with the propped up engine door. Watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows in Detroit there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Now he's moved his family to the hills of Tennessee. Watch that bus grease monkey make his home, bringing buses back to life with the help of his dear wife. Watch that bus grease monkey get it done. Well, he travels town to town looking on them old greyhounds. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide, you know, Lenny the Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?